welcome to Shanghai Eye. I'm Timothy Pope.
I'm Chen Xuan.
Monday through Friday here on Dragon TV, we bring you stories to explore and decode China, and we'll focus a lot on Shanghai.
We'll look at business, tech, urban life, arts and culture and sports, and we're going to provide you with our tips on work, study, life and travel in China.
Official data shows that China's elderly population, categorised as people over the age of 60, is currently in excess of 296 million. The proportion of elderly people in rural areas is 8% higher than in cities. So it follows that enhancing elderly care services and infrastructure in those areas is becoming a matter of urgency. And the local government in Shanghai has decided to take action. Here's Lei Shuran.
China is experiencing a demographic shift as its population ages rapidly. The situation is even more pressing in rural areas, as many villages now primarily consist of elderly people. To respond to this challenge, the central government released a set of guidelines last year to ensure that an overall coverage rate for elderly care services should be no less than 60% at the township level by 2025. In this village in suburban Shanghai, a new service center was established in June. It's now offering meals for some 30 seniors nearby. There are also leisure activities available for them to come together and pass the time. Also, those who are looking for 24-hour services can live in the service center. Should they choose to do so, they can even work with the village committee to lease their idle homesteads and houses. For rural residents whose monthly pension income is around 1,000 yuan, that means much needed extra income. Also, there's a close bond among the households in the village. Living in the service center means they can still be close to their friends.
我们现在有4位老人是住在这里。那么另外呢，旁边我们周围的这个小组里面30几位老年村民呢，是可以在这边享用午餐。住在这里的话呢，是1天50块。一方面呢，我们要把这个老年人的这个宅基地做流转，能让他们得到比较高的回报。另外一方面呢，同时最重要的也是老年人呢不改变他自己之前的一个生活习惯，还是住在他们的乡村，住在他们的宅基上那么这样的做法呢，也受到了大家的这个认可。
Li says deducting the daily cost, leasing a homestead can earn them from 40 to 60,000 yuan a year. The project also generates around 3 million yuan a year in tax revenues, which increases the village's budget to make further improvement to the elderly care services there. And it's not the only village in the township working on it.
现在目前呢，我们已经正式进行运行的呢有3个村，3个点位。那么马上到年底前要进行投入运行的呢，还有3个点位。那么明年呢，我们还有4个点位已经完成了选址，预计呢这个也会在明年年底如果顺利的话呢，也会建成以后投入使用，争取进行全镇全域的全覆盖。
Official data show that as of the end of 2023, almost 20% of the country's population is over the age of 60, close to double what it was 20 years ago. Of course, the number is much higher in rural areas, and they do need more special care.
And now to a different kind of care. China's pet industry has been growing by leaps and bounds, if you will, and it's now valued at more than 300 billion yuan. Various services are coming out catering to the country's increasing number of pet owners. So it's no surprise that with Spring Festival just around the corner, there is also a growing demand for pet sitting services for the little friends. Here's Lei Shuran again.
More and more people in China are looking at pets as good companions. And so there is a booming market for services to ensure the best possible life for our furry friends. Especially with the holidays approaching. Finding trustworthy care for pets has become a holiday rush, which has given rise to a trendy business. Like this pet store in downtown Shanghai, there is a recent surge in bookings for pet sitting services.
节假日会多一些，像5一、11还有中秋还有就是过年尤其是过年要比平常要多60%。
This family is one of those willing to rack up the bills to ensure their pets' comfort during the holidays.
一般是2、3天短期的，我们就把狗狗送到我们附近的宠物店。宠物店呢，去的时候呢，就是把我们平时给狗狗吃的东西带过去的。 然后他宠物店里边有专人给他，就是每天安排的就是2次户外的活动。
Also, in-home sitting are getting more and more popular in the country. Preparing fresh water and food, doing cleaning, interacting with the animals. These are what in-home pet sitters like Gu Jun do every day. During holiday seasons, he usually needs to make more than 10 house calls a day. Many clients also send detailed instructions on how their pets should be pampered.
我是从2015年开始从事这个行业的，就是当时的话，可能一天的话只有2到3单，对。现在慢慢的，更多的养宠人的话是把宠物当作家人在对待，而对于宠物本身来讲的话，因为是家人，所以他们在家里的家庭地位，包括宠物自身的福利，也在不断的增强，
所以客户就变得越来越多了。我可能专门的客户大概有将近100家。
The growing demand are mainly from young pet owners like this couple who plan trips or return to their hometown to be with their families.
因为可能没有什么亲人在这边，然后到节假日大家都想出去旅游什么的，可能就需要专门的宠物保姆来照顾这些小狗狗。
收费的话是按次收费，然后会根据你的宠物多少以及你的服务的时间的长短。
And where the market goes, the money follows. Many in-home service providers have sprung up. To deal with the growing needs, they're also hiring some part-time sitters and even offering them special training.
So we have a lot of pet owners that turn into pet sitters because now they'll work from home and they have a little bit of free time. Or the pet sitters have told all of their friends. And it's a very, very, very popular job because you get to make your own time while spending time with pets, which is awesome. And then you get to earn money. But the flip side of that is that we're very, very strict. So we have like a huge interview process. We make sure we do offer training if they need it. A lot of our pet sitters, maybe 90% of them, have either owned a pet before or currently own a pet. So they are pet owners. So they have that direct knowledge.
And social media is spreading awareness among pet owners, allowing them to see everything pet sitting services have to offer, and even keep tabs on their pets while they're away.
It's been a huge game changer for not only us, but the pet industry, whether it's our pet sitters sending live updates during every single service or a camera that the pet owner has watching the pet at home. It's been able to showcase how pet and people are so relatable and how we really depend on each other. For instance, for us and our daily photo updates, our pet sitters and our services, we're able to show people visually through media and highlight the genuine bonds our sitters build with pets, which is something that means everything to us. So, when you're at work and you feel bad that your dog's at home, but then you get that live photo update, we not only share it with the pet owner, but we get to share it with a wider audience. And then they're like, oh, wow, instead of my dog sitting at home alone, I'm gonna get a pet sitter. This is amazing. They can see how it works.
And it's not just sitting services. Other businesses are also seeing potential in the furry buddies. Hainan Airlines is now allowing eligible small dogs or cats to travel in the cabin of the aircraft on flights departing from several airports nationwide. Also, more hotels are extending a friendly welcome to pets. These will allow devoted pet owners to bring their animals with them during holidays. And of course, with a promising market, we can expect more to come to make sure that our little buddies are well taken care of. According to researcher Roland Berger, the number of pet owners in the country has already exceeded 100 million, with over 70% of them born in the 1980s and 1990s. They're very willing to spend the money to keep their furry friends happy, especially on the holidays.
Well, Tim, I heard you're a pet sitter sometimes. But exactly why are you doing it? And it takes a lot of efforts, right?
It does take a lot of effort. I don't get paid, but perhaps I should. I pet sit for a few friends when they travel. It's something I've been doing for a few years now. Mm-hmm. And even when I've only got, 1 or 2 dogs at a time, it is quite a bit of extra work. This morning before we came into work, I had to get up an extra hour earlier to take the dogs out for a walk. I don't take cats. I am extremely allergic to cats, but I do love dogs. And as long as the dog is properly trained, I can manage. One dog I've been sitting recently, though, I have to say she is my favorite. She's so cute. She has a few minor health issues. So instead of 1 main meal a day, she has to have 3 meals, and smaller ones, and go out a little more often. So sometimes that means I need to go home during my lunch break to see her and take her out. Her owner is also a little bit more demanding. She checks in with me at least once a day and usually wants a photo of her dog doing something cute, you know. So demands really do differ. I have another friend who is a dog owner herself and who will sit another 1 or 2 dogs at a time. She does get paid for it. She's smarter than I am. And she finds clients through various different apps and WeChat groups for pet owners. But I think in my experience, pet owners generally like to leave their pet with someone that they know, and preferably as well someone that the animal knows too. It's less stress all around, especially for the animal, and that's how I ended up pet sitting. And I think if you've got a pet, you're obviously going to miss them when you're away, and you want to make sure that they're looked after properly. It's only natural because they're part of the family.
Yeah, exactly. I don't have pets, but I do see many pet owners treat their pets as part of their family and actually willing to spend much more on them. For example, they shift from feeding pets leftovers to high quality pet foods and pay more attention to the ingredients. And besides pet sitting, services like grooming, training, and even photography are becoming very popular, as many of the pet owners, they always post their pets online. And it doesn't mean they tend to think expensive means better, but they actually spend more cautiously and would shop around for the best things for their pets. Well, so it's not surprising that the industry is projected to jump to 360 billion yuan by 2026. Now let's have a look at the Shanghai A2Z section. The National Immigration Administration has announced a relaxation of its visa-free policy, extending the permitted stay for eligible international travelers from 72 and 144 hours to 240 hours or 10 days. 21 additional ports have been selected for visa-free entries and exits, bringing the total number to 60. While the areas in which transit travelers can stay have been expanded, under the updated policy, eligible citizens from 54 countries, including Russia, Brazil, Britain, the United States, and Canada, can enter China visa-free when transiting to a third country or region. These travelers may now enter through any of the 60 ports across 24 provinces, regions, and municipalities and stay within the designated areas for up to 10 days. A notable feature of the policy adjustment is the introduction of cross-regional travel that allows foreign visitors to move freely across the 24 specified provincial-level regions during their 10-day stay. And now is our ShanghaiEye Q&A section. Today we have a question that is really simple, but I believe very important to a lot of people. Jonathan asks, how do I get a pet out of China? Before you start preparing or submitting any documents, you should first familiarize yourself with the pet health requirements of your destination country or region. Then you can go to a pet hospital approved by the Shanghai Municipal Commission of Agriculture and Rural Affairs in your district to obtain the necessary documents such as vaccination records and quarantine certificates. About a week to 10 days before your departure, submit all required documents, including the pet's health and vaccination records, your identity information, and flight details to Huangpu Customs to require an animal health certificate. Remember, you can authorize a qualified pet hospital or customs clearance agency to handle the process on your behalf if you wish to save some efforts. And always feel free to ask people working at the pet hospital or customs office. They can tell you what to do if you find any confusion. And remember that airlines have their own policies for flying with pets, so make sure you check before booking a ticket. If you are planning to take your furry friend with you while enjoying your Spring Festival holiday, we hope this answer helps you. If you've got a question for us, you can find us on all the socials.
We'd love to hear from you. You can find all our content online as well and join us here on Dragon TV Monday to Friday.
Thanks so much for watching and see you next time.